And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So look, hit subscribe, watch, comment, keep those comments coming and share with your friends because we need to grow this community. By doing so, we will stop the stupidity that's emanating from DC. Now, today on Memorial Day, it's a day that we honor those who fought for American values. And this administration, they just continue to betray them. From deporting an honor student to targeting a 4-year-old child with cancer, they show zero empathy. All they show is cruelty. What they don't realize is that parents will do anything for their kids, anything. And even when it's not my own children, I'll fight like it is. Well, the other day, Ben Meiselas and I, my co-host on Political Beatdown, we broke this all down. And I want to show it to you. So play the clip.
Let's show that clip now of the really that just despicable borders are that Tom Homan guy. He was asked a question. Well, you know, you're clearly rounding up people with no criminal records. They pointed to a bunch of stories, like there was a 19-year-old, Georgia girl who was here, living here since she was young, was not a citizen, no criminal record, going to college, living a productive life here in the United States, and has been in a detention center, has not been able to leave, arrested, locked up. And you'll just see, and Homan, when he talks about it too, like he's just a creepy dude. Like you can see that he really enjoys inflicting pain on people, a very strange man who must have lived one of, a very dark life in the inner chambers of what's going on there, because you don't get that sick like this unless there's something else going on.
I mean, that young girl was 4 years old when she came to this country. And as Ben said, she's in college right now, doing well, working the whole 9 yards. They pulled her over for a traffic stop, which, by the way, was an improper. It was even an improper traffic stop. Yeah, go ahead, Ben. Play the clip.
Let's play it.
A Georgia college student was mistakenly, if the officers involved acknowledged they mistakenly pulled her over. She's being detained right now. Her father said he was never worried about her. She came over here at 4, never been in any trouble. She's a college student. Because you had said you would prioritize gang members, rapists, and criminals. She obviously is none of those things. Has that changed? Has that priority changed?
No. What I have said is we're going to prioritize public safety threats and national security threats, and that's what we're doing. But just because we prioritize somebody doesn't mean we walk away from illegal alien. If you're in the country legally, I've said this 1,000 times, you're not off the table. You're just not being prioritized. I'm not familiar with this case. I don't know if she has a criminal history. I don't know if she's an overstay. I don't know if she's here illegally. I'm just not familiar with this case.
I just don't know if it's this case. All I can tell you is if you're here and it's illegal, they can't turn around and they can't say something which is honest or decent or American. Listen, like everybody else that's with us right now, I too don't want these gang members in our country, these criminals in our country that snuck in and so on. Great, deport them after due process, but deport them. This young girl hasn't done a single thing wrong in her entire life. In fact, she didn't even commit the traffic violation that caused the police to pull her over in the first place. And while I appreciate the fact that the father is trying to be optimistic, I'm not concerned, yada, 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 and so on, I think he's absolutely out of his mind, and he fails to fully comprehend the evil, and I'm going to say it again, the evil of people like Tom Homan and others in the administration that are hell-bent on deporting everybody. You see, it's not about her. She's just merely a number. And that's what it's all about. They want to increase the number of people that they send out so that way they can throw it like red meat to their MAGA base and to America and say, you see, The president is living up to his campaign promise. He told you that he was going to get X number of people out of the country, and we are on track within which to do that. So they don't care if the person is innocent or not. They don't care if they have actually deported people who are Americans, right? I mean, how crazy is this that they were taking them into custody simply because they weren't able to validate that they were American citizens quick enough. I mean, this whole process lacks process, and that's why it's as screwed up as it actually is.
You talk about the power of propaganda to convince people to focus on a whole set of issues that really doesn't impact them, and to not focus on the issues that impact them the most. I mean, that's a real powerful and potent thing when you can get that to take place. Like at a most basic level, if you don't care about yourself dying, waking up dead, what is your main kind of concerns here? Like let's start with the idea that life has a value, right? These are all the pro-lifers, right? I mean, but they've now subordinated their own existence to a set of conspiracies that are not tethered to their life. I mean, I would put actually beyond myself living, now that I'm a father, and I'm sure you agree with me, Cohen, on this, my daughter. I would put my daughter living above me living, but I would say my daughter living a healthy life is the most important issue to me. Because there's no other issue. There's no other issue that is even in the realm of proximity.
Because, Ben, you are a normal human being. You are a normal father.
But I'm telling you, even
every decent father would lay down their life for their children. Some of us go a little further, right? Where we would do the same for our spouse. It's why, as I have stated so many times, I took a plea on a Friday when I first found out what the charges were for a Monday, because they were going to indict my wife as being a co-conspirator to the hush money payment. And that's the way it should be. Again, Ben, because you are a normal, decent, good person. When you lack those qualities, and by the way, I'm just being nice to you because it was his birthday yesterday. Right? In another couple of days, I'll be mean to him again. But Ben, you are a decent human being. What if you lack that decency gene?
But then you move on to what is beaming through that cable news each and every day. And some of the most basic issues, right, of existence, of living, of having human beings just be alive are not what's being focused on. Instead, they create this theater and drama around all of these other issues. And the focus is brought away from the most basic things. If the federal government is going to dismantle FEMA, a federal emergency management agency, well, then what the hell are we paying taxes for at all? If you're going to dismantle NIH, CDC, if you're going to now prohibit me because you claim I'm an able-bodied under 65-year-old to get a COVID vaccine, I'm prevented because I live in the United States from accessing a vaccine that could keep me alive. What are you doing as a government? Talking about this story in Georgia, what could be worse for a father than to have their daughter locked in a detention center, unclear if they're going to be sent to a concentration camp in El Salvador? Like, why can't
there is one scenario, Ben, and we saw it, and we saw this feckless fucknut, all right, Homan, turn around and actually do it. They deported a 4-year-old child, remember, with metastatic cancer. All right, so imagine that the father is here, the mom and the child gonzo, not even knowing whether or not the child is going to a place where they have treatment for cancer. That is beyond heartless. The fact that they could not see past that. Why not just go then into the hospitals, go into the emergency rooms and find these folks? It is so grotesque what they are doing. I can't believe that this is the United States of America and that there's still so many people who turn around and that they are supporting this. I'm baffled still that anybody and I'm not talking about millions, I'm talking about any one person can actually turn around and say what they are doing is fine. Look, again, the president of the United States, whether you like Donald Trump or you despise him, every president comes to the White House with their own agenda, whatever it might be. I didn't like certain things that Joe Biden did. I didn't like things that Trump did in his first term, many things. I didn't like things that Barack Obama did or Bill Clinton or the Bushes. There are things that you like, things that you don't. It's based upon yourself. However, nothing that anybody else did was cruel and inhuman and unconstitutional and un-American. And if in fact, as I believe that we need to revamp our immigration policy because it has been ignored, kind of like our radar systems at the airports. It has been ignored for far too long, and it needs a major, major overhaul. That doesn't mean that you tear it down and that, you instead of having a process, all you have is cruelty and theatrics.
And it's just that dehumanization. It's what the Nazis did. It's what authoritarian regimes do when they convince you that life is not actually precious. And you're so focused on all of these other things that the regime is beaming down, people just lose sight of what the hell are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And, Trump, for the MAGA Republicans, is this vehicle where he'll be the ultimate weapon of mass distraction. He will say any lie imaginable and run interference for that dehumanization. And it is natural for him, like it is breathing for others, to lie. He doesn't have what people, that's his superpower is the supervillain power, that it's literally anything. You just lie, you make it up, you don't care, and you just keep on pushing the fraud. You repeat it over and over and over again.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. We're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.